December, the last month of a year. For me, this month always be one of the most wonderful months in the year, since it is the moment that I usually look back for what I've done in this year and set a goal for the next year. Also, my birthday is on December too. Why I cannot love December? And this December becomes more meaningful to me thanks to a field trip that I got a chance to participate in from November 30th to December 7th. And hello again, my name is Nguyễn Ngọc Huyền. This is a field trip to the South Central Coast and London province of Vietnam. On the second day, we said goodbye to Nha Trang City and headed off to Quy City. But before that, we came to a place called Hòn Chồng. Hòn Chồng is located in Vĩnh Phước Ward, Nha Trang City. Hòn Chồng is a place that you can see many stones with different sizes. However, what makes it unique is these stones stack naturally. How amazing of nature is. Day by day, the rocks stand still despite the strong wind or wave. But before coming close to the rocks, our tour went into a traditional architectural style building to learn about a plant called yabo or argwood in English and enjoy a performance played with musical instruments of ethnic minorities. After learning some information of argwood tree, I got a chance to enjoy a song performed by ethnic minorities' musical instruments. The first instrument is Khánh lithophone of Rockley group. The stones themselves generate unique sound naturally, and the artist will collect these stones and peel them to different sizes. Each size will create different note. The big, thick, and long stones will generate bass sound, and the small, thin, and short will generate high sound. The second musical instrument I want to share is kalomput. It is a traditional bamboo xylophone of Sedang ethnic people. The way to play kalomput is quite different from other musical instruments. The performer will place their hands near the top of the bamboo pipe and clap their hands together. It will create the air to impact the air column of the bamboo pipe to produce the sound. There are also many instruments displayed, such as tarung, zither, monochord. The monochord only has one string, but it can play many types of songs. After demonstrating some information of these instruments, the artist started to play a song with those traditional instruments. I must say that the performance was amazing. My ears were blessed. I love how harmonizing of they were. Each instrument will play a certain role in the song. After a wonderful song, I moved to Hòn Chồng Reef. And yes, it became more breathtaking when I got closer. And I just loved the formation of the rocks. They were eroded by the wind and wave and turned into round shape, like this. It took me more than 30 minutes to admire the beauty of this place. Time to say goodbye to Hòn Chồng in Nha Trang City. Our tour continued the journey by coming to the next place, El Gió. El Gió is located at nearly Commune Bình Định province. I must say this place was one of the most beautiful destinations I've ever seen in my life. I stood on the high rock compared to the sea to enjoy the whole view of El Gió. I realized that there were 3 different blue colors of the water on the sea. Actually, each area of the sea has different shallowness and depth, which creates an illusion for our eyes. However, there was one thing that I felt annoyed at this place was the wind kept blowing and I felt that it was non-stop. I couldn't open my eyes properly and unfortunately it was raining during our visit to El Gió. Luckily, the rain was not long, maybe 13 minutes or 15 minutes and it stopped so that we could continue our visit. We finished day 2 by resting at Quy City. The highlight of day 3 was Ngũ Hành Sơn or Marble Mountain in English. Marble Mountain is 8 kilometers from the center of Đà Nẵng City. The complex of Ngũ Hành Sơn comprises 6 limestone mountains rising along the coast. 6 mountains are Thủy Sơn, Mộc Sơn, Hỏa Sơn, including Dương Hỏa Sơn and Âm Hỏa Sơn and Kim Sơn. Looking down from above, this mountain is shaped like a giant hand with 5 fingers sticking straight into the crowd. Long time ago, this destination had many different names such as Phổ Đà Sơn, Bạch Hoang Ngũ Chỉ, Ngũ Uẩn Sơn. It was my pleasure to visit such a majestic place. Unfortunately, our team could only explore the three mountains. Even though I just went around one mountain, I could feel that it was so broad. I could imagine how exhausted I was if I explored the whole complex of Marble Mountain. As I just said, the area was so big and there were so many spots. I have to be honest that I couldn't remember all the spots I passed through, so I will just show you some destinations that I felt were remarkable. The first place I want to share is Linh Ứng Pagoda. Actually, this Linh Ứng One Pagoda, the oldest pagoda of Da Nang City, with its age is about 200 years old. It was built in 1825 during the reign of King Ming. When I entered the pagoda, what immediately caught my eye was a big statue of Buddha, which was 10 meters in height. The statue was placed in the middle of various trees, creating a peaceful atmosphere and closer to nature. Following was the main hall of the pagoda. I was amazed how detailed this building was. Each roof was carved with a dragon marvelously on each side of the roof. The walls also had many patterns on them. This has showed how skillful and talented the artists of the Nguyễn dynasty were. The next spot is another pagoda, that is Tam Thai Pagoda. This pagoda was built in 1630. Its first name was Tam Thai and was bought by Hưng Lian, a Chinese Zen master. In 1825, under the reign of King Ming, the pagoda was restored and was ordained as Quốc tự. Tam Thai Pagoda worshipped Amitabha Buddha. On two sides of Amitabha Buddha were Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and Mahasthamarapta. Besides, I was impressed by Damwan Gate. The gate had only one color, brown, which emphasizes the ancientness of this building. I don't know if the original color of the gate was brown or because of time, the real color faded and turned it into brown. In front of the main hall is Maitreya Buddha. When I was young, I wondered why he has a big belly. Turns out his belly holds all of the pain in this world. The pain is too much so that his belly must be big like that. I always ask myself when I should say A Di Đà Phật or Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật. Actually, it's quite simple. A Di Đà Phật is used to greet when you meet the monks, and Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật is the title of Amitabha Buddha. Beside majestic temples, caves are destinations tourists shouldn't miss when they visit Marble Mountain, and one of the caves I paid a visit to was Huyền Không Cave. Huyền Không Cave is located on Thượng Thai Peak, which is one of the three peaks of Thủy Mountain and also the highest peak of Ngũ Hành Sơn. The cave has a round dome and 5 holes in the dome to connect with the outside, allowing sunlight to shine in, making the whole cave become miraculous. If tourists come to this place on a sunny day, visitors will see the clearest beauty of marble in the cave. Huyền Không Cave also brings historical value for being a secret base of local guerrillas during the resistance war against the French, and in Vietnam War, Huyền Không Cave became a first aid station and a hiding place for good and Vietnamese soldiers. The enemy wanted to catch our soldiers, so they dropped the bomb into the cave, which created a hole on the dome so that they could break into the cave. Unfortunately, the plane was completely destroyed thanks to the strategy of leader Phan Hành Sơn. Moreover, there were some spots I found impressive, such as Vọng Giang Đài, natural rock which resembles Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. I could say that this visit was worth it. I could see many beautiful places. However, I felt exhausted because I had to climb many stairs, and the stairs were so steep, especially the stairs when I headed up to Vọng Giang Đài. I feel like I could fall any time if I was not careful. Starting with day 4 was a talk show with the managers of Royal Lotus Hotel. This activity asked us to wear our uniform, áo dài. Before the talk show, we discovered all the room types that Royal Lotus served to the guests. The first type of room is a classic room. Then we moved to a suite room, which was 16 meters square in width. This room includes a living room and a bedroom. This hotel has 13 rooms in this category. There are other kinds of rooms such as deluxe rooms, executive rooms, and premium rooms. Moreover, this hotel also has a gym and a swimming pool or a ballroom for special events such as wedding ceremony and seminar, etc. Then, nearly 10:45, our talk show began. In this show, we had an opportunity to listen to the manager, sharing some information about the hotel and also the development process of it. Auto also posed some questions for the manager about the work opportunity, experience, and difficulties the hotel had faced. During the COVID-19 pandemic, all industries were stagnant, especially in tourism. It was affected directly or even was frozen during the pandemic. Not only Royal Lotus Hotel, every hotel had to struggle at that time. Luckily, everything now starts to normal again. Then we had lunch and took a break for a visit to Hoi An Asian Town in the afternoon. Hoi An Asian Town was the place I wanted to visit most on this field trip. Therefore, I felt really excited. Hoi An Asian Town is an ancient urban area located downstream of Thu Bun River. Hoi An is a city in Vietnam province with many old quarters built in the 16th century and still exist almost intact today. Thanks to favorable climate and geographical factors, Hoi An was once a prosperous and bustling international trading port, a meeting place for merchants from China, Japan, and Western countries throughout the 17th and 18th centuries. In ancient Western documents, Hoi An was called faithful, which meant an urban trading street with a port. Yellow must be the word I used to describe this beautiful place, since this town is covered with yellow color. Even Highland Coffee, one of the well-known coffee brands, have to paint the store yellow to blend in the unique color of Hoi An Asian Town. The first spot I visited in Hoi An was Thực An Asian House. The address of this place is number 129 Fu Street. The project was built in 1830 during the reign of King Minh Mang of the Nguyễn dynasty. The house was left by the Phan family's ancestors to their descendants. Up to now, the house has been passed down through 8 generations of the Phan family. Thực An means preserving morality for peace. Thực An's house is also the birthplace of patriot Cao Hồng Lãnh. He was born in 1806. His real name is Phan Hải Thâm, alias Nam Thêm. All his life, he devoted to the Vietnamese Revolution. He also held many positions in the party and state. This house displays many pictures and relics about his revolutionary activities. One of the special features of Thực An House is that the whole building was made of wood, which can be easy to preserve. And since Thực An House was a Chinese traditional medicine store, there are many shops containing herbs placed right at the beginning where we first entered the house. The second place I want to present is Quảng Đông Assembly Hall. It was first built in 1885 by a Chinese merchant. The original purpose of the Assembly Hall was to worship Confucius and Thiên Hậu Thánh Mẫu. After 1911, the Quảng Đông Assembly Hall was converted to worship Tiền Hiền and Quan Công. Quảng Đông Assembly Hall also has another name, which is Quảng Triều Assembly Hall or On Pagoda. It got the name as the inside worships Quan Công, a famous Chinese general. According to Chinese beliefs, the Mandarin carries 6 words: loyalty, righteousness, faith, wisdom, benevolence, courage. He will be the lucky god who helps all the business go well. After visiting those places, my friends and I spent time asking some tourists for an interview. At first, I was really nervous and I didn't have courage to ask them for the interview. I had to reassure myself a lot and repeated, "You've got us, you've got us," to boost my confidence for the interview. Sadly, the first person refused to answer my questions. I was a little bit disappointed. Luckily, the guard accepted my call. I succeeded in finding a person who didn't mind if I interviewed them.
So hello, what's your name?
My name is Paul Herwegen.
Yes. Where are you from?
I come from Belgium. Belgium is a small country between France and Germany.
Yeah, thank you. So I will ask you some question about your vacation in Da Nang. So
Yes.
First question, that what do you like most about Da Nang city?
About
This city, Da Nang.
this city,
Or Hoi An Asian Town.
I love the most nature and the hard-working Vietnamese people, of course.
The second question, that is, what surprised you the most? Like,
As I said after the first question, the hard-working Vietnamese people. A lot of people work very hard here in Vietnam. Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem.
We said goodbye and moved to Dallas City, but before that we came back to Nha Trang City to visit two destinations, which was Stone Cathedral and Institute of Oceanography. At Stone Cathedral, I met some foreigners, so I took my chance and asked them if I could interview them with some questions about their vacation. Happily, they said yes to me.
So the first question I want to ask you that is, what do you like most about Vietnam when you travel here?
The people
Yeah.
and the weather. I like it even though it's hot. It's okay. I like hot weather.
Is the weather in Vietnam different from your country?
Yes. I live in Washington State,
Yeah.
and we don't have humidity there, but we have more seasons because we're pretty far north, and so it's cold in the winter. I like warm.
Yeah. And the second question that is, what was the best thing you ate on your trip on Vietnam?
Jackfruit.
Jackfruit? Oh.
Yeah, love jackfruit.
Oh, have you tried durian?
No.
Oh.
I smelled it.
And is it good?
No.
Oh, okay. And you like jackfruit?
I love jackfruit.
Yeah.
We don't have that in the United States.
Yes.
It's my favorite fruit.
Yeah. And I also love jackfruit salad. What was the highlight of your trip?
I think yesterday we had a wonderful tour. We got on a boat. We took a boat, then we took a rowboat. We tasted the food. We had fish. We had the rolls. We saw so many plants. We got to row canoe down the river, and our guide knew so much about his country. He was a farmer, and so we learned a lot about the country. And it was lovely.
Now, let's move to another place, the Institute of Oceanography. This place was just like a mini version of the ocean, which contains 4,000 marines. I was overwhelmed by the abundance of the marines and also was in awe of these creatures living under the ocean. Beside each species pool hangs the information of that species. Or if you are lazy, there will be a tour guide following you at the beginning to present all of the creatures in this institute. This is also a home to nearly 23,000 specimens of marine life belonging to 5,000 different animal species. The tour guide also mentioned some information I found interesting. There are two main types of coral, hard coral and soft coral. The hard one has a limestone skeleton, and the soft one doesn't have any bones. The color of the coral was the result of symbiotic life of algae. This is a blue ring octopus, and if you see them, please stay away from them because they are deadly creatures. On their skin contain poison, which can kill 26 adults with one touch. The Institute of Oceanography was the place I really loved to visit, and I will definitely visit this place again if I have a chance. After that, we had lunch and moving to the next stop, Dallas City. Day 7 is one of the busiest days of this field trip. We delayed our journey since that day was the day we registered for credits until 10:30. So Palace 1, or King Palace, was the first stop of our visit. Palace 1 was built by a French millionaire named Gilbert Clement Bouziagy. According to a researcher, Duke Nguyễn Hào, King Bao-Dai's father-in-law, provided financial support to buy it for the king in 1949. This is the workplace for King Bao-Dai during his time as head of state. Before entering the palace, I had to wear a big pair of socks, which could cover my shoes. Getting inside the palace, there was a tour guide who wore nhật. She shared with us about the life of King Bao-Dai. His real name was Nguyễn Phúc Vĩnh Thụy. He was the 30th king of the Nguyễn dynasty, also the last king in the history of Vietnamese feudal dynasties. After the success of the August Revolution, Bao Dai decided to abdicate and become a citizen of Vĩnh Thụy. In the application declaration, he had a famous saying, "I would rather be a citizen of a free country than a king of a slave country." He was a real lady killer. Besides his famous love flight with Queen Nam Phương, he also had another wife whose name was Bùi Mộng Điệp and many other love affairs. Then we immediately transferred to Dalat gas station. The station has a unique architectural style with three pyramidal roofs, which looks like three Lang Biang mountain peaks or Central Highlands communal houses. Dalat station was built in 1932 and completed in 1938 during the French colonial period. This is the first railway line going from Dalat to Thap Cham Phan Rang station in our country. However, after 1975, this railway line stopped operating until today. The only railway line currently served by the station is the 7-kilometer route from Dalat City to Chai Mat line. One of the unique features of this gas station is that this station has a 10-kilometer Cork railway section to exceed the 1,000-meter altitude of Song Pha Pass. And the next spot is Domaine de Maquis Church. It must be a well-known destination since its building is covered with light pink color. I thought I was lost in some place that is unreal. The weather this day was also great that made me want to stay at this place forever. Phew, okay, I think this is the last destination of today. Welcome to Lang Biang. Actually, to get to the peak of the mountain, the Lang Biang peak, we had to use another vehicle that was a jeep. I could compare the feeling I sat on the jeep to the feeling of sitting on a roller coaster. The route was winding and the jeep went too fast. We kept screaming but also enjoying the breeze blowing straight into our face. Such a great moment. Lang Biang was based on a love story. It said the girl named Biang has feelings for Lang. The two of them lived at the top of this mountain. They loved each other. But because of two people each belonged to a different tribe, so both families objected and banned it. Those two people chose death to keep that secret love for themselves. So Lang Biang is the combination of the boys named Lang and the girls named Biang. We enjoyed the view until 17:30 and then headed up to the restaurant for dinner and the cultural exchange of Gong's activity. And now here comes the star of this day, the cultural exchange of Gong's activity. I had a chance to witness the sacred fireball ritual of the ethnic people. Also, we created with ethnic people by joining a traditional dance. We had fun together, we danced, we sang, and we also screamed a lot. I got a sore throat by screaming and singing too much at that night. Well, everything will come to an end, right? So this is day 8, the last day. Before we came back to Ho Chi Minh City, we visited Trúc Lâm Zen Monastery of Dalat. For the formation of this building, Zen Master Thích Thanh Từ was the person who established this place. Thanks to his dream of riding a phoenix flying onto the sky, he thought of building a Trúc Lâm Zen Monastery at Phúc Hoàng Mountain of Dalat City. It was first built in 1993 and it only took 1 year to complete. Trúc Lâm Zen sect or Trúc Lâm Yên Tử is a Vietnamese Zen sect formed during the Trần dynasty founded by the Emperor Trần Nhân Tông. Trúc Lâm Yên Tử Zen sect worships Siddhartha Gautama. This was the second time I visited this place and it was as beautiful as the first time I came to this place. It was tranquil. There were many benches and red places for people to enjoy the peaceful atmosphere this place brings. So that's all the destinations I visited and learned on this field trip. Also, this is the last field trip I experienced in 4 years of being a student. All I can say is thank you, my dear second home. Saigon University has given me the opportunity to visit the South Central Coast and Lumbung province of our country. I have acquired more knowledge, witnessed many marvelous destinations, and enjoyed many typical and delicious dishes of each place. And for the knowledge I learned those days, I must say thank you to our wonderful tour guide, Mr. Thong. You have provided us with a lot of useful information and experience as a tour guide. Thank you, Mrs. Yuen, for taking care of our accommodations. I slept really well. And I also want to say thank you to our driver. Thank you so much for taking us to each destination safely. Thank you to all of my dearest friends. You guys are the one that make my journey become so meaningful. We had fun together. And lastly, Mrs. Ling, I'm so thankful to be on the trip with you. You are so wonderful. I love how you take care of each student in our class. You always remind us some notes in each destination. I remember that you gave your all in the team building activity. Well, I say thank you a lot, but I think I couldn't have an epic trip if I didn't have you guys. And that's the end about this video. Thank you for watching till the end. This year, 2023, is a wonderful year, and one of my unforgettable moments in 2023 is the field trip.